Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Lindsay Ellis, and today I have the beautiful Anita Zachou, who is all the way from Greece right now, if you're tuning in from the States or anywhere else in the world. And she is a holistic and wellness coach and trainer. She's an expert in olive oil tasting, which I am super jealous of. And she is a Mediterranean diet ambassador. How are you today, Anita? Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, Lindsay. Thank you for so much for inviting me. I'm well. I'm great. It's still summer here, so enjoying the sun and the sea, and always good olive oil, of course.
Yeah, so tell me about what I know that you actually went to school for olive oil tasting. I think a lot of people, and perhaps maybe share what a Mediterranean diet ambassador is. I would think, especially here in the States, not every olive oil is the same as you are well aware of. And so I would just love to discover how you got into this line of work and maybe just share a little tip for all of us to get started.
Of course. First, I studied agronomy, so this is my main job. And then in 2012, I took my first certification in olive oil tasting in a school in Greece. At that time, I had my job. I was a global training manager in a very famous Greek natural cosmetic company. So I thought, okay, one day I will work with olive oil, but I didn't know exactly when and how I will do that. So when I quit my corporate career and decided to move to Mykonos Island, because my boyfriend is from here, so I created Mykonos Olive Oil Tasting, which is an educational company that offers workshops and seminars on olive oil tasting, Mediterranean diet, and of course, holistic wellness. So I took a scholarship from the International Olive Council in Madrid, in Spain. So I went in Jaén, in Andalusia, and I studied 4 months in the university there, olive oil tasting. So as you can see, olive oil is a subject that needs a lot of, let's say, research, effort, and time to get to know it better, because people believe, okay, it's olive oil, it's not something very, complicated. But the truth is that it's an amazing product, it's unexplored, it's complicated, and we have a lot of things to learn when it comes to chemistry or to gastronomy. Because all olive oils are not the same, they don't have the same benefits for health, and also all varieties do not pair perfectly with all the foods.
Absolutely. So since this is one of the topics that you're an expert on, I would love to hear perhaps if you could share what some of the health benefits are and maybe what to specifically look for in terms of quality and in terms of it actually being a nutritional supplement. I know that I actually have a friend who has she has her own company, and it's from Spain. And, she suggests taking, I think, 2 tablespoons in the morning as a dietary supplement. And then of course, using with your food as well. So maybe just one tip on a health benefit, and then maybe one tip that can lead people in the right direction on how to find the right quality.
Sorry, I have my cat also here.
Saying hello. All are welcome on these calls.
Thank you. It's not so easy to shut them out of the room because they're crying, Okay, so now, well, the benefits, the health benefits of olive oil, they are a lot. First, olive oil helps to prevent the oxidation of blood lipids. So it's very important. So also it minimizes the bad cholesterol, and they have found also that it helps against dementia, diabetes, premature aging, and so many other things. So, but the thing is, which olive oil is good for health? So I always recommend to my customers to consume high phenolic extra virgin olive oil and fresh, because the fresher, the better. Olive oil is a very sensitive product. It has a lot of enemies, such as light, heat, the age, and of course the oxygen. So we have to preserve it in specific conditions. And when we say high phenolic, that means that the oil contains more than 250 milligrams of antioxidants per liter. So these oils, according to a regulation, a European regulation, they can have a health claim indication. So they can be like a food supplement. So we need to take like 2 tablespoons per day in order to cover the needs of antioxidants that our body has.
Okay, good. I'm glad I'm on the right track then. I started my 2 tablespoons a day. And she did also recommend, you know, making sure, I think that you use it, I think you use the bottle within 30 days even. So you're right, it will start to dissipate, the benefits will start to dissipate over time.
Yes, of course. So we have to, if we open the bottle, it's good to consume in 1 month.
1 month.
Otherwise,
okay.
if the bottle is closed, we can keep in temperatures below, let's say, 18 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, I'm not very familiar with Fahrenheit. Also we can keep it in the fridge if we want.
Okay. And then my last question before we move on to other health topics, since you're so well versed, just because I know these are a lot of the questions I have, and I'm pretty in the know in terms of clean products and clean food and supplements. When it comes to cooking, I know that, like you said, that heat can be an enemy of olive oil. And I know that I've seen conflicting views on if you can heat olive oil or cook with olive oil. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that? What do you recommend for those that are listening?
Well, actually, it is not my thoughts. There are many studies about that, and it is a big myth that you cannot fry with olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil is the most stable oil in high temperatures. That means it can keep its stability up to 220 degrees Celsius. So we can fry with it. And of course, it's more healthy, and we can reuse it up to 4 to 5 times. So we can fry with olive oil, and we can keep it in a jar for the next time. So we can reuse it. I know that it's more expensive to fry with extra virgin olive oil than to fry with seed oils because they're cheaper. But if you consider that you can reuse it many times, so I believe the cost is like similar. So when we fry with seed oils, we have to know that they're not stable in high temperatures, they degrade, so they create byproducts, which they are very bad for health. They are creating cancer. So it's better to fry with extra virgin olive oil. I know it's more expensive, but if we want to fry, because you know that fried food is not very healthy. So let's say if you fry once per month, so I believe it's worth it to be with extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah, and just like with anything else, even with my specialty, which is clean beauty and personal care products, right? Like when you have a higher quality product, it's usually more concentrated, you usually need a lot less, and it can last a lot longer. So it's all comparable, like you said. In the end, I think it all ends up balancing out, and spending a little bit more money on products that you're consuming and that you're using on your body in your home are going to keep your body thriving longer, which keeps you out of the doctor and spending more money on medications and whatever else comes your way. So I believe in investing in the forefront of that to be proactive with your health.
It's very important. And also I would like to add that we take all the benefits from olive oil when we consume it raw. Because, you know, when you fry, of course, you lose some good stuff. You lose some antioxidants, some vitamins. So, okay, we can fry with olive oil, but it's better to use it raw on the top of our food and salad. And also it gives amazing flavor. If it's a good and fresh olive oil, it's the best condiment of all. So what I also recommend is that when we buy olive oil, before we drizzle on our food, it's good to put in a small glass, smell and taste. Maybe we are not professionals, we are not trained to say if it's good or bad, but our senses will guide us. When we smell something nice, you know, our body opens. So you want to smell more. So if you smell something you don't like, your body is telling you that something is not going well. So let's try and smell and taste and try to understand the aromas and the flavors. So olive oil, when we want to evaluate olive oil, we evaluate three things, which is fruity, bitter, and spicy. So fruity, it has to do with the smell. So we smell and we try to understand if we're going to find the smell of fresh fruit, of fresh cut grass, or maybe other smells like tomato, artichoke, almond, banana, depends on the variety. So if we don't find anything of this, it's something suspicious. So then we taste, we swallow, and we feel the bitterness and the pungency. So olive oil, when it has a big amount of antioxidants, it's bitter and it's spicy. So we feel bitterness at the back of our tongue, and we feel the pungency or spiciness when we swallow. So it's like a small burning on the neck. We feel like a burn, we feel something's happening here. Many people believe that this is not good if the oil is very pungent. So no, this is not true. It's good, and we want that because it's the oil that will give us all the benefits.
I'm so excited. I'm so glad that I asked, because you're right. There are a lot of myths around everything that we're talking about, especially heating olive oil. And so it just sounds like it perhaps just takes, just like anything, heat will start to change maybe some of the nutritional benefits, but it's still perfectly fine and healthy to cook with, and a much healthier option. I actually roasted some potatoes with my Spanish olive oil yesterday. You're right. I just put a little bit of that with some balsamic vinegar on my salads, and the nuttiness. I love the nuttiness of the olive oil. I don't know if that's the right adjective, but it just tastes like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, you can, when we say nutty, normally it comes with the flavor. So we can have the flavor of nuts when we eat olive oil.
Yeah.
So yes, you
okay,
can say
good.
that.
I'm on the right track. Perfect.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, I'm so glad you provided those tips and you debunked some of those myths for many of us, because that was a question that I had. And I actually did not know that you used to be in the clean beauty world. Obviously, that's my topic of interest, and what is very near and dear to my heart. So perhaps you can maybe just share a couple of tips that you share with your clients in terms of what to look for and why it's so important to have products that are healthy.
Yes. Okay. First, I would like to say that I'm an ingredient freak. That means I'm always checking the ingredients.
Now I know why we connected. We're both ingredient freaks.
Yes. So, well, okay, I was also the training manager, of a company. So I had to know about the formulas and the ingredients and stuff like that. So, and when you are trained on ingredients, then you cannot go back, because you know what you're wearing or what you want to choose. So I'm always choosing formulas that they are, let's say, of course, the natural ingredients are more. I don't want to use formulas with mineral oils, as you know, or parabens or phthalates. And things like that. So I'm always checking the naturalness of the formula, and then I'm checking the ingredients, the kind of oils, of natural oils that they are inside. Essential oils are very active in beauty formulas. So I always want to search for essential oils, because essential oils, they penetrate deeper into the skin layers, so they're more active and effective. And also I'm searching for infusions. So for example, in the company I was working, we didn't use like tap water to create the formulas. We used herb infusions. So you start the formula, the base, which is, the biggest percentage is like water. So you start from the base from a herb infusion. That means you have a more active formula. So I'm always checking these. And when it comes to olive oil, because olive oil is an ingredient that sells in cosmetics. And I had the pleasure to speak in the Phytocosmetic Congress 2 weeks ago. And I discussed with all these people, they were formulators, chemists, and I said, okay, which olive oil? Because, most of the times in the formulas, they are using refined olive oils. So refined olive oils, they lack antioxidants. So in order to take a product with the, let's say, the maximum of effectiveness, if we want to invest in olive oil, it's good to know the company we are going to choose, what olive oils they are using. If they don't write in the ingredients, you can just ask. Okay, so for me, high phenolic extra virgin olive oil is the ingredient with maximum effectiveness because it's full with antioxidants, fatty acids, and vitamins.
Oh, I love this. Yeah, it's really important to me. So my background's in environmental engineering. So I had a very, very solid base of understanding how to look at ingredients and chemicals and toxins and get an understanding. And through this clean beauty journey after overcoming my own health struggles, that's really how I got into this. So I became my own advocate. I became my own researcher. And so nobody cares more about themselves than themselves, right? And so I did my research. I was digging in every single day for sometimes hours, and I learned so much. And I think the biggest thing, especially here, I know over in the European Union, you're far further along and we're slowly trying to catch up to you, is the transparency piece all the way down to the sourcing, right? And so just like what you said, not every 2 olive oils are the same. Not all of the essential oils are the same. There's ways that they can throw fillers in there, chemical fillers. You don't really know how things are being extracted, if they're using like chemical solvents and things to extract specific ingredients from where it's derived from. And those are the tough questions to ask. And I believe that the company, like you said, sometimes you have to ask, but I want the full transparency to already be there. I want to be able to go to the website or be able to look on the back of a bottle and know, okay, this is the exact type of ingredient and this is exactly where the source is from. So I feel confident and I know.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very important. And unfortunately, not all the companies provide this information,
Exactly. So I know that we chatted about olive oil, we chatted about clean beauty, and I know that you truly believe in intuition and following your heart and following your gut. And I would love to just hear what that means to you, because I do think people tend to think that living a life full of beauty and vitality and wellness is solely perhaps down to your food or the way that you move your body, but there's so much more when it comes to perhaps our spirituality and understanding our mindset. So what does that mean to you?
Well, the truth is that I decided to work with holistic wellness because people believe that wellness has to do with nutrition and exercise. And the truth is that it's not only that, because in order to be happy and to feel balanced and well, all the aspects of your life must be in balance. That means your work, place, everyday life, your relationship, and also how you manage your finances and everything. So in order to help a person to feel well, we have to consider all the aspects of life. So not just exercise, because there are many people, they're getting exercise and they are being fed perfectly, but they're not happy, or they can get, diseases and cancer, and they say, why? Because I eat okay and I'm exercising and the disease knocked my door. Why? So then we have to consider what is happening in the inside, in the brain and in the heart, because the brain is so strong, it can heal you or it can destroy you. So we are what we think, and because the thoughts trigger emotions, so we are what we feel. And if we don't, let's say, first of all, we have to be aware of what we are thinking, because sometimes it's like the autopilot. We are making bad thoughts, we don't realize it, and then we trigger emotions and stress. And this creates a very bad balance in our body, in our hormones, in our immune system. And then we are very, sensitive in everything that can happen to us. So I'm a heart math licensed coach. HeartMath Institute is an institute in California. They're working like 25 years with the connection between the heart and the brain, and they are teaching techniques, very simple techniques to people how to manage their stress. So in order to do that, you have to get access in your heart intelligence. And of course, you change your breathing, and then you have to regenerate positive emotions. Not to think of something nice, but to feel something nice. In order to change the chemistry, because you know, when you make a bad thought, you trigger 1,400 reactions in your body, chemical reactions.
Wow, I did not realize. I mean, it makes sense. It makes total sense. And I'm a huge fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I'm sure you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I do a morning and evening meditation. I've been doing it every day for several weeks now. And that's exactly what he talks about. It's getting you in that meditative state, going to a future event, and then feeling it and staying in the feeling, because that's really where the true change happens. It's changing your state. And I believe that the more that I've been able, even during coronavirus, when I'm at home, simple things that I can do to change my state, to elevate my emotion. If I'm feeling down, or I'm feeling like I have cabin fever, or if I'm feeling like I'm having a day or a moment, like, we have so much power to just be like, wait a second, I don't want to be in this place. Okay, what is something small that I can do? So maybe before we jump off, if you could just share one quick tip on something small that people can do to perhaps like change that emotion quickly when they're in their day-to-day and they're feeling stress. And then if you could share your free offering that you're generously gifting to those listening.
Okay, so in HeartMath, we have many techniques that we offer to people in order to help them manage their stress, be more resilient and more coherent. So let's say I can explain the steps of a very easy technique that everybody can do every day, even if you're driving. It's not necessary to have your eyes closed, but you can do it every day. So it's good to start breathing from our heart. We imagine like our heart is like a channel. So we inhale and exhale through this channel. So if it helps us to connect with our heart, we can put our hand on our chest, on our heart. So we start breathing, inhaling and exhaling deeper than we normally do. Let's say 5 seconds I inhale and 5 seconds I exhale. And then what we can do is that, okay.
Sorry, my computer's yelling at me.
And I have my cat crying, wants to go out.
That's the nature of virtual learning.
God, I hate my cats. When I'm live, they want to do everything. You know, they want to go out, they want to eat, they want to. Anyway, okay. So when we do that, we relax a little bit and we try to regenerate a positive feeling, like. Not to think, but to feel moments that we feel appreciation and gratitude and love, or we can think of our pet or a person we love. So we want to be in this positive, regenerating emotion. And then if you have a problem that we think a lot, we can think of, for example, from this position that I feel better and I'm more coherent and close to my heart and to my intuition, what is the better solution for me? Because sometimes we are trying to find solutions when we are stressed and crazy, you know, and the answer is not coming. So in order the answer to come is that we need to connect to our heart intelligence, because our heart always knows the way and what is for our own benefit. But we don't listen to it, you know, because we have a very strong brain. We believe that, okay, I have to think logically and do what my brain says. But no, because our heart intelligence, you know, and the electromagnetic field of the heart is 500 times more strong than of the brain. So, for example, maybe you have seen that you go into a room and you meet people you don't know. And for some reason, some people, let's say, they attract you and you want to go and speak with them, and other people no. This is happening because the electromagnetic field of your heart and of the other person's heart interacting. So you take non-verbal information. So you understand what I mean? So you take information, so you say, okay, I want to go and speak with that person, or with this person. So this is important for us to listen to it. And how many times, for example, you had the first impression about somebody and then you didn't listen to it, and then you said, oh my God, I should have listened to that in the first place. So our heart always knows the way. So what we do, we breathe from our heart, and we are trying to regenerate a positive emotion, and then we are thinking, what is the best solution for me?
I love it.
And we do that. Fun. It's one of the techniques. For example, when I want to take decisions, to understand how I'm going to handle a difficult situation, for example. But we can do heart-focused breathing, because this is heart-focused breathing, the first step. You can do it anytime you want. For example, you're driving and you're arguing with another driver, and you know your heart rate is like going crazy. So you can start heart-focused breathing, and then you can regenerate a positive feeling and relax yourself and be more coherent. Because if you don't do it, you know, the stress will continue a lot of hours after the incident.
So helpful. So yes, that sounds like something that many people can do in any situation, and especially if they're trying to make a difficult decision from not coming from an emotional place. So I definitely am excited to implement that in my life. And before we wrap up really quickly, do you want to share the clarity call or the discovery call that you're offering everybody?
Yes, I am offering a 30-minute free call, Skype call or Zoom call, whatever, to everyone who wants to start, let's say, manage their stress and learn everything about these techniques, or if they want to learn more about olive oil, Mediterranean diet, cosmetics, you know, the fields are plenty.
Thank you so much for opening your calendar for everybody. And thank you so much for taking your time to chat with us today. This was a great discussion full of so many myths debunked and information. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.